Hi, and welcome back to Unified Victories, Special Olympics Arizona's official podcast where we celebrate the stories of athletes, families, volunteers, and supporters alike. If this is your first time tuning in, my name's Kate. Nice to meet you. And today I'm here with Jaycob Mace and Robert Granlund.
Hello.
And they're two of SOAZ's area managers. So hey guys.
Hello.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for coming. How's your morning going?
It's going pretty good, to be honest. I got up early, not on purpose, but it happened. Maybe nerves, who knows?
Yeah.
My morning's going okay. I woke up on time and was going to be here on time, and then there was some unexpected construction outside of our neighborhood, and so I ended up being a little late. Threw me off a little bit, but other than that, going very well.
Robert was ready to walk in at exactly 10 o'clock.
That was the plan, and it ended up being 10:03, so my
It's
deepest
okay.
apologies.
Jacob told me you were going to be 5 minutes late,
Yeah,
so...
I think you were like 3 minutes. Yeah,
See, I over-budgeted on purpose.
Yeah.
That's-
Smart.
Set expectations low so you can always beat them. That's what I always say.
Perfect. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And some backstory, too. We do live together, so that's why you said why we left our neighborhood.
Yes, and I knew that, and that's why I was kind of going to give you a little bit of grief about it, because I was like, you guys live together.
I kind of thought we were going to ride together this morning, and then I woke up and Jacob was already gone. I was like,
I know, I was surprised when I walked into the office and Jacob was here and you weren't. I was like, I'm surprised they didn't just come into work together.
Just a surprise, let me tell you.
A lot on my to-do list today.
So we're gonna hop right into it. And this is the most important question. What's your go-to snack during long SOAZ events?
So, I think I don't really eat during SOAZ events. There's just, number one, not really a lot of time to, get anything down. And also, we live in Arizona. So, if you pick a snack, you got to understand that by the time you eat it, it will be melted.
Yes.
So, I've kind of just, foregone the snacks. I'm pretty good. I'm a big breakfast guy, so I always eat breakfast in the morning. That usually kind of just carries me through the day. But I will say a Celsius, always a go-to during an SOAZ event. I'm not kidding, and I'm not recommending this to anyone. I want to be very clear. But I will pound probably a minimum of 3 throughout if it's especially a long one that starts early in the morning. I got to be there at 4 or 5 a.m. I'll probably have 3 Celsius throughout the day just to keep me going.
Yeah, that's when we had a couple staff members. We had to stop at 3 Celsius, or Red Bulls, I think it was.
Yeah, we had to cut them off.
I know Robert was one of them.
I was one of them.
I didn't want to call him out, but he was one of them.
I was going to say, when you said 1, I was like, you mean 3 Celsius. I've seen it.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm the same. I don't eat. I'm notorious for not eating at competitions, whether it's an area competition or a 16-hour day at state. I try and avoid eating anything. It's just hot, and then again, Robert said not a lot of time, and I got tummy issues. So I try to stay away from food as much as possible. Just water and maybe some liquid IVs if we have them, just to stay hydrated. But go to town after competition's over though.
Yeah, Diet Coke or 2.
Diet Coke, definitely. If there's a Diet Coke, I might settle on that.
He definitely will settle on that. I've seen it. Yeah, that actually is kind of a funny question, because I don't think I really have eaten during events either. I'm just bring my Alani Nu, and I drink a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
If we have them. Okay, this is probably more relevant and probably should have been my first question, but can you guys tell me about yourselves? Where are you from? How'd you end up here at SOAZ? And tell us a little bit about your job.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's kind of a funny story of how I guess we both ended up here, so I don't know which one of us is going to want to take that. But I guess I'll start with, so I'm from Washington, Vancouver, Washington to be specific, not Canada, so don't get that confused. Before this, I worked for NASCAR, and I lived in Daytona Beach, Florida. And then before that, just in college, I was very involved in the athletic department, and so just sports in general. So as much as I could be, I was around sports. I like to go to all of our college football games, even though we had 10 people in the stands. I was one of those people hey, let's turn up. And so I knew when I left, I wanted to stay in sports. And so after Florida coming here, it just kind of worked out that way. But I'll let Robert go, and then we'll share our little funny story about it.
Yeah, so I also am from Washington, specifically Vancouver, Washington. Me and Jacob have actually known each other for a very long time. My very first memory of Jacob was 3rd grade in art class. or we had like a little art day during 3rd grade. So I think that was probably the first time I remember us meeting. But I ended up going to Arizona State, and while I was at Arizona State, I worked for a organization called Changemaker. Basically, we kind of were just like the on-campus hub for anyone who wanted to do anything relating to kind of like community service or getting involved with nonprofits and that kind of stuff. And so I think through that, I kind of like decided that maybe going through the nonprofit route was for me. Just something where I could feel like, I was actually doing something to make a positive difference in the world, rather than working corporate and just working for, the shareholders or whatever it may be. So I decided, nonprofit was going to be for me. So after I graduated, kind of looking for jobs and stuff, I just kind of found upon Special Olympics, and it was a nonprofit that checked my box, and also just sports. I went to a really small high school. It was like 200 people total. So everyone in my high school was like a multi-sport athlete. So I did a lot. I was into sports. I played football on the sidelines. That was my position. I was in a track. I played soccer my senior year.
Right in the bench.
Yeah, it was sick. So I've done sports for like most of my life, and so it was kind of just this convergence of things that, number one, that I was passionate about, just like in the nonprofit space, along with just like sports, which is just something I've always been interested in. And we actually, so kind of what Jaycob was alluding to, Jaycob had just moved to Arizona right after I graduated, so we were both kind of looking for jobs at the same time, and we both kind of found this like Special Olympics was, there was some jobs, and so he sent me. I graduated with a degree in marketing, so he sent over. He was like, "Hey, they have a position in marketing open. I'm gonna apply for the sports one since that's more me. You should apply for the marketing one." I was like, "Okay, sounds good." A week and a half goes by. I totally forget about it, just to be completely honest. And so Jaycob texted me. He goes, "Hey, did you apply?" I said, "No." He goes, "Oh, well, they took the job down." I went, "Oh, that's fantastic." Well, missed that opportunity, I guess. But so I continued to look, and I was like, "Oh, they have another role opening. I'll just go ahead and apply for that one." So I text Jaycob. I go, "Yo, I just applied for the the sports coordinator role." He goes, "Bro, that's the one I applied for." So for like probably a week into this process, or maybe 2 weeks, me and Jaycob were under the impression we were competing against each other for this.
Yeah.
So Jaycob was a little upset, but I was like, "You know what? We got this." So we did our first interviews. We both got callbacks and stuff, and so we had to make a presentation. So me and him are like hopping in Zoom calls. We're working on our presentations. We're pitching it to each other. We're like, all right, it sounds great. Jacob's interview is first. He goes in, and then he comes back, and he's like, so turns out there's actually 2 positions. And I was like, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. That was almost bad. And it was an East and West Valley thing, and Jaycob was living in the West Valley at the time, and I went to Arizona State, so I was kind of familiar with the East Valley. So it just kind of worked out that, like, oh, we kind of both fit the East and West Valley. And, we think we're pretty competitive applicants. So I think we got a good shot. Our presentations were pretty good. I can't lie.
And obviously work, because you both ended up getting the job.
It did
so it's
end up
perfect.
working. Yeah, I did kind of use it to my advantage. I let everyone know. I said, hey, my best friend actually interviewed yesterday. If you're looking for people with chemistry, maybe the 2 of us.
We can work together.
Exactly.
We already know. We've known each other since we were in the 3rd grade.
Exactly.
So.
And it seemed to work out.
I was hired first, so I want to put that out there for everyone.
That is true. It was a very stressful week for me after Jaycob got hired. Jaycob got hired, and I didn't hear anything back for like a week. So I was sitting there stressed. I was like, dude, I fumbled somehow. I don't know what happened. I thought I was like pretty good, but I guess not. And so I had emailed Sean at the time, who was the one who hired Jaycob and had interviewed me. And I was just like, hey, any chance?
Yeah.
You want to message me back?
Just checking in.
And then finally he got back to me a week later and offered me the job. And I was like,
Thank God.
Saved me. That's
did
good.
it. Yeah. It's funny. Robert actually interviewed me. Robert and Taryn interviewed me when I first applied for this job, and so I'm happy to be here interviewing you.
Oh, how the turntables I get.
Oh, how the turntables. But anyways, I remember thinking that, like, I was very intimidated by, like, Taryn and Ben and Robert, and now looking back on that, I think it's, like, very funny that I was so, like, nervous about it, because knowing all of these people now, it's like, there was no reason I needed to be intimidated.
I remember coming in, like, full suit, and everyone on the other side of the table, I think I had, like, 4 or 5 in my panel, and they were all wearing, like, baseball caps and T-shirts, and
Yeah.
so I felt so out of place. But it was, yeah, just knowing them now, it felt stressful at the time. But and I interviewed for 2 different positions as well. I also interviewed for LATR,
Oh, okay.
and so I mean, I came here twice in a different suit, and so for a while after that, everyone just like complimented how good I looked, and it felt amazing. So I'm thinking that hasn't happened in a while. I think I need to show up in a suit again.
Yeah. Literally, I came into my interview and I had like my dress pants on and like heels and like I did my hair and everything. And I sit down for this interview and Robert sits down. He's wearing a sweatshirt and I was like, okay. So I overdressed for this, but obviously paid off, so it's fine. Okay, and what's one moment where you thought, this is why I do this work?
Yeah, I think for me, I remember I was running a bowling competition last year for some high schools, and I remember like when we were first getting started, you know, all the high school athletes are coming in and stuff, and there's this one athlete who kind of comes up to me at the counter in the beginning, and he's just like, dude, I'm gonna win today. I'm taking home gold. I got this. I was like, dude, heck yeah, man. Like, I'm loving the energy you're coming in with. He was like, I'm taking home gold. I'm taking home gold. I was like, yes, awesome. Love the energy. So we get through the competition. I'm tallying up the scores. He gets last place. Like, just like 4 out of 4. Like, it wasn't super close. So I'm looking at these scores. I'm like, dude, he's gonna be so upset. He was so pumped today coming in, like looking to win gold. He's gonna be so upset when he finds out he doesn't even he just gets a ribbon, not even a medal. And so we start like announcing all of the awards and stuff when we get to his division. And, you know, I go, all right, and in 4th place, it's, you know, this guy. And he comes up and he just goes, let's go! Yes! He's like freaking out. He grabs the ribbon from the volunteer and he's just like, yeah! He's like raising it up in the air. His whole team is like, yes, let's go! Like, it was he was electric in there. And I was just like, dude, that's awesome. Like, you know, he came in, he wanted to win first, but like seeing just like how happy he was, just to, you know, he didn't even win, but just to like get something for his efforts, I think was like, you know, seeing that and seeing his experience and seeing how happy he was, even though he didn't win, just being a part of the experience at all was just awesome. It was incredible. And I think that's been a constant reminder to me of like why we do this. You know what I mean? Like, seeing the effect that we can have on our athletes is like, you know, whether they win or lose, just giving them the opportunity to kind of be a part of something, I think is for me what really like sold this job for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Just like seeing how happy we can make people and seeing what, you know, what a positive difference we can make in people's lives.
Yeah, I think one of the things that if you've never been to a Special Olympics event before, you just leave feeling so good. Like, I think for me, well, my first events were bocce, and like that's a really fun one. I think our first week, we were in the office, and our second week we were already at a competition, so we didn't really know what we were doing, and then now we're like fully immersed in it. We're in the thick of things. We're doing the planning on the back end, and then we're seeing like the outcomes directly. And so we put in a lot of effort making sure that these competitions are as quality as possible so that our athletes have great experiences. Sometimes that can be a lot, and going to these competitions, and it just makes it all worth it. In the end, you completely forget about how hard it was to you know, be in the office super late till 1 a.m, making sure that everything's ready to go. When you go out there and you see like Robert's example, athletes who are just like over the moon, who come up to you and say like, this is the best thing that'll happen to me all year. Like, it almost makes you want to cry.
Yeah.
And so like that'll keep you coming back. And then I think competition wise, cheer's so fun. You just get to go out there and watch like the most exciting thing that you'll see like of your year. Just people going out there and doing stunts, and like just even if they don't know how to cheer, they're going out there and they're just having a blast, smiles all around, and just watching the audience as well. It's just smiles. Yeah, I think it's fun. I think all of it comes back to just the joy that comes from it, not only for our athletes but the community that's directly impacted with our volunteers and our coaches, and then just spectators who maybe haven't been to a Special Olympics event before, and then, you know, community members at schools where they, you know, are told they have to come watch it for like extra credit, and then they leave like, how can I join? So just all of those combined, it's just it's impossible to escape it once you've been involved in it.
Okay, what's something powerful that happens off the field that most people don't get to see?
Yeah, I think I'll start with this one. So my area is very integrated with UCS. I know our state is doing a really good job at getting more schools involved, and we're starting to grow the East Valley. But for me, UCS also has other pillars than just sports. And so seeing the engagement that you get with the general population at schools and how they get involved with the program at all of the schools, I think is amazing. You'll start to see a culture shift in schools that haven't had it, and then now they do, where now our athletes have people to sit with at lunch. They walk down the halls and people are cheering for them because they made a game winner at the basketball game at the assembly. Getting to see those firsthand is not something that a lot of people get to do because it's during a school day and parents are at work, and it's not open to the public. And so those are some things that I think are very valuable that aren't necessarily always first in mind when you think Special Olympics. So yeah, UCS is huge in creating so many new individuals within our communities that are now champions of the change.
Yeah. I think that is like, and if for anyone who doesn't know, UCS is our Unified Champion schools. Yep. So any schools that are like actively involving Special Olympics within their school programming, and I do think that is like a great one to point out, because you're right, you wouldn't see it unless you were, I guess, involved actually in Special Olympics, like working like what you guys do or like me. And parents don't get to see it as much, and it is like really that's a big spot where you can see the culture shift of like you have young people who are coming in and getting to like really be with our athletes and just like sit with them at lunch. Like that's just, it's the sweetest thing. That's the best.
Thinking back to high school, and I didn't really have that in my high school.
Yeah.
And I like wish I did. I would have been so much more involved. And I know even some colleges are involved with it as well, so it just continues, and I think it's a huge point of emphasis in making our athletes feel included, and that's really what our mission is. So.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever seen inclusion happen in a way that surprised you? You're like, not really.
This is a tough one, because I think maybe just, when we started, I think, kind of like Jaycob said, like, I mean, I didn't have this at my high school either. I didn't know anybody who kind of, like, was involved in, like a Special Olympics program in high school or anything like that, or even, like, in college or anything. Like, I didn't like, I had heard of Special Olympics before, but, like, I knew they did sports, but that was kind of just the extent of my knowledge. And so I think when I started, just being able to see, like what Unified was especially, I think that kind of inclusion and being able to, go to competitions and see what that really looks like, when you're going to a basketball competition or something, and you're seeing the way that, our Unified partners and our athletes interact. I think for me, that was just something that, like, I had never seen that type of inclusion before. So I think that was surprising. I think it's tough to answer now just because we've been doing this for a while now. And so, I think in a sense you can kind of become a little bit numb to it. Like, it just becomes part of, like, your expectations, I guess. So, but I know, like, Jaycob had told me about an experience he had at an event where, like, I think it was like track and field or something, where we're running around, we're running the competition, but Jaycob ran into a volunteer who, like, was just watching an athlete, like, throw a javelin or something, and just, like, broke down in tears. And Jaycob was like, hey, like, are you okay? Is everything all right? And she was like, this is just, like, so beautiful to watch. Like, this is just amazing. Just, like, seeing, the coaches interact with the athletes and, getting them ready and, like, watching them perform at their, highest ability or whatever. And so I think, like, seeing moments like that where, like, you can take a step out of, like, being, like, really deep in it and just, like, take a step back and actually realize, like, what's going on here. And just, like, seeing that inclusion and seeing that acceptance at the competitions between everyone who's involved. I think that, like, those moments allow me to take a step back and just go, like, oh, yeah, like, maybe I'm stressed and I'm focused and I'm dealing with a million different things here, but, like, I can take a second to take a step back and just realize, like, oh yeah, this is what inclusion is supposed to be.
Yeah, and this is like a good thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it is interesting, and I think maybe it was Jaycob I had a conversation with not super long ago, but it also could have just been like someone else, I don't know, where I had said that, like, it's interesting because I also, like, obviously have heard of Special Olympics, and I know, like, the general gist of what they did, and, like, in high school and growing up in Washington, I never saw it. Like, I would have never known, especially even coming into this role of, like, actually working for Special Olympics, I didn't realize, like, the amount of events that are going on and, like, the amount of opportunity there is to get involved. And it's so weird because, like, you hear Special Olympics and you're like, oh yeah, totally, like, I know what that is, but, like, do you? And, like, have you really seen it? Because I, like, had no idea coming into this the amount of just, like, events we have and, like, things that are going on. And, like, I never growing up had ever, like, at high school or anything heard like, oh, they're having an event, like, you should go. That was never a thing for me. So it's very interesting. Like, then I'm, like, now working here and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, we have so many opportunities for you to, like, get involved or, like, go to these events and, like, practice inclusion and, like, be a part of it. But, like, and, like, I know what Special Olympics is, but, like, why have I also never seen anything going on for Special Olympics until now?
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like Special Olympics Washington just needs to step up their game.
That's what we were thinking.
That's kind of like, that's my takeaway.
That's my takeaway too. I was
Special
also
Olympics
thinking
Washington,
that.
This is us calling you out right now. Dance battle.
Dance battle time. 3 Washingtonians, and we're calling you out.
We just have high standards for our home state.
Yes, because I'm also from Washington, which they knew, but you probably knew too, because I know you listened to last week's episode. Okay, how would you describe the culture at SOAZ in 3 words? And I'm talking, like, staff culture at SOAZ.
Yeah, so I thought about this one a lot last night, and there, like, to put it into 3 words is hard, because I think with our staff, I look at it as in, like, seasons almost. Like, there's the 4 seasons. We all go through so many different emotions. And so depending on what part of the season we're in and how busy we are, the culture can shift.
Right.
Very true, yes.
But what the 3 that I came up with was driven, passionate, and then I ended it with silly, because at the end of the day, that's what it all comes back to, is, like, we're all very driven, we're all very passionate, and then no matter what's going on, if we're all having, like, a rough week, it's just, like, so much is happening, we always drive it back to just that silliness and making sure that, you know, we're all grounded in the mission, which is where that drivenness and that passion comes from, which we all have for our athletes and our partners and volunteers and coaches and really just anyone integrated in our system. But when it comes down to it, we know how to keep each other, like, up, like, lifted, which I think is very important in trying to accomplish the mission that we have here. Is there can be a lot that happens, but if we break down, then that, like, everything else breaks down. So we all kind of lift each other up. We have fun. We laugh a lot. If you ever come in this office, it's usually not quiet.
No.
Like, if people are here, we're having a good time. Staff meetings, almost impossible to get through because we're all making comments and joking and laughing and just jabbing at other departments. So yeah, those were the 3 I came up with. But
yeah, I think I also spent a lot of time thinking about this question because, like Jaycob said, it is kind of tough. Like, it can depend on the season and kind of depends on how stressed that I am. But I think I would agree with that. I think the only thing I would add, and I hate to be this guy, and I hate to sound like an industry plant, but I would add the word family, and I'm sorry for doing that. But, like, I do really think, being, like, kind of like a small organization in general, I think we're, like, at 40 people or something, you know, and especially with how closely we all work together, I think, like, you really get to know the people who are here. And I think especially being in a workplace where everyone is, like, you know, nobody is here just to, like, collect a paycheck. Like, people are here because they want to be here. Yeah. They believe in our mission and they want to see that mission through. So I think, like, having, like, you know, relatively small group of people all, like, so passionate and focused on the same thing, I think it really, like, brings you together. And especially, excuse me, especially when you are going through kind of some of those stressful times and stuff. I think like suffering is the best way to bond with people. So like when you're going through those stressful times, when it's the week before a huge event and you're stressed out, you're freaking out. You're in the office until like midnight or whatever it is, but you have somebody like Zach who's just like, hey man, I'm not doing anything tonight. I'm just gonna sit in here and have a good time with you guys.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff, or just being able to like, you see somebody, you come into the office in the morning and you're just like, you just had a stressful phone call or something with somebody, and you could just like be like, Kyle, let me just vent to you for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like having that kind of culture of just being able to like, understand that these people are not just like your coworkers, but also like your friends, and you can have that relationship with them. I think that's something I think that's the one thing I would add.
Yeah, I do think it is kind of a little bit like cheesy to
it's
say
cheesy.
that.
Yes, 100%.
It is cheesy, but it's true because, and especially the like, you don't bond with people unless you're suffering with them because
Exactly.
like I think about summer games and it's 105 degrees outside and we're all dying and like I'm bonding with Dylan and Jacob and I are picking up trash and like those were my favorite parts of summer games, like doing the little tasks that are like, oh, I don't want to do this, but also isn't it kind of fun to like go around and like have to do these things that are maybe not actually super fun, but it's just like we have such a good staff environment and like family environment within this organization that like even doing that stuff, it's like it's fun, it's bonding, and we just make it fun. And that's been great. Okay, this was what I was most excited for. We're gonna do staff superlatives.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I actually have a lot of them, but I thought you guys could say maybe who you think. Maybe you'll have the same answers, maybe you'll have different answers. Guess we'll find out. Okay. Most likely to bring snacks for themselves only.
Ooh, well, Zach always has some sort of fruit.
I was thinking Zach. I was also thinking Zach. That guy will show up to a competition with an orange and not eat the orange. Is the thing. Zach brings snacks for himself, but not to eat. He uses them as like stress balls throughout the day. It's insane. We had it was Jacob's basketball last year, I think. We had like 5 straight days of basketball competitions. Every single morning, Zach would show up with a brand new fresh orange and not eat it all day. He would just he'd just like toss it like a baseball. It's like, dude, we have a warehouse full of like tennis balls and baseballs. Just like grab one of those, man. He loves the feel of fruit or something. I don't know.
Apples and like 2 bananas.
Apples. Yeah, and then he just won't eat them. It's insane to me.
I actually think I have seen him throwing like an orange in the air and just like catching it and just walking around like, and I'm like, what are you doing?
I would say that.
Okay, most likely to get caught napping in a storage closet.
Ooh, that could be Robert.
That could be me. I'm a big nap guy. I don't have a very good sleep schedule, and I have actually napped in the office before. It was one time before. I don't even remember what competition this was, but I was so tired just after the competition. I almost fell asleep on the floor, and Jacob was like, you can't sleep on the floor. And I was like, okay, fine. So I came in here, and actually that couch that you're sitting on, I took like a 45-minute nap. I woke up, office was empty. It was dark. I was like, felt like I was in a fever dream, and I was just like, I gotta go home. It was insane.
Actually, these couches are like so comfortable.
They're so comfortable.
They have no business being this comfortable.
It was a great nap.
I would like push them together and just like day bed it, I feel like.
Yeah. I was like walking out of the office and like I felt like I needed to come in here and like tuck them in.
This is literally like I was going to have us do this in that room today because there's 3 of us and it's like a little bit easier with the camera being in. Then you don't have to sit in like a weird chair. We can all sit in the same chair, but it's like really echoey in there. So I was like, you know what? We're just gonna stay in here, and I want to sit on the chairs. Yeah, because they're comfortable. Okay, I think I already know the answer to this, and I know my answer to this.
Okay.
Most likely to organize staff karaoke.
Ryan. The answer's Ryan.
I was gonna say Taryn.
Ryan.
Wow. Okay, we all have different answers. I was gonna say Dylan.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's actually also a good answer.
Yes.
Ryan does put on like karaoke nights,
which I
with
know,
his friends.
and we had talked about this last week with Luke Parker, so I know that. Why Taryn? Just because it's Taryn.
Taryn just loves organizing little fun staff events.
Yeah.
She loves doing that kind of stuff. I do see Ryan though. I know when we were in in New Orleans for a conference last year, 2 years ago, whatever it was. we took a staff trip out to Bourbon Street, and I pitched the idea of karaoke to Ryan, and Ryan was the only one who was down. Nobody else wanted to sing with me, but Ryan was like, absolutely, let's go find a place to sing karaoke.
So, and then we'll circle back because two things, karaoke, Wicked.
Wicked. I
So,
have my Wicked answer right.
Yes, which I'm not there yet, but karaoke, go-to karaoke song.
Sweet Caroline, Neil Diamond.
Oh, yeah, that's so easy,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a classic.
It's basic, but yeah.
I think, I don't remember the name of the song, but the Baby Lock Them Doors and Turn Them Lights Down Low.
Oh, okay,
That's
yeah.
a go-to. That's a
I don't
go-to.
know the actual name of that song
Yeah.
either, but
Yeah,
like
that's what
obviously I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
if you tell the DJ, they'll know. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes. Okay, most likely to survive. Oh,
Take your time.
sometimes I just don't think I should be allowed to do this. Most likely to survive a full day event on iced coffee.
Any of us? Maybe Ben. Ben loves coffee.
Ben
He'll have
does love coffee.
So many coffees in the morning, and at night he'll have coffees way too late in the day. So probably Ben.
Yeah, I would agree. I think most of us are energy drink people.
Yes.
So I think finding somebody who's like willing to stick with coffee. First of all, stick with coffee all day long in
Yeah.
the sun for multiple hours. You know, people who have tummy problems. That's a lot to ask.
It's a lot to ask. See, I'm one of the people that's like, I switch based on my mood. So, like, most of the time for actual work, I'm on the Alani because if you know me, I'm not very sociable, maybe. I'm like definitely an introvert. Yeah. I'm like definitely an introvert, so I need that like extra 100 milligrams of caffeine to get me through events.
Yeah.
But like if I'm home, it might be it's normally coffee or like maybe a matcha. But for SOAZ stuff, it's normally an Alani. But like today I had a matcha.
Yeah. So for the listeners at home, when Kate got hired, one of the first rules I set for her is she has to say hi when she comes to
Yeah.
competitions, because she would just show up, snap pictures, and like do her own thing. And I was like, not acceptable.
And then like I'd be there for an hour, and then Jake would be like, "When did you get
get
here?"
And then rule number 2 is she has to say bye as well. So
Yes.
if you see her out at a competition, make her say hello.
Yeah, I do. I'm really working on it recently. I said hi and bye to
And
you
That's true.
at swim
Yep.
because I'm trying to be on top of it. But I'm a really big fan of the Irish goodbye because I remember a while ago I had read that people lose like 2 days of their lives saying goodbye to everyone.
Okay.
And so I just will leave because in my mind I'm like, I'm gonna see you next week. Like I'm just gonna go. Okay, most likely to confuse bocce with bowling.
Ooh, that's tough. It would have to be one of like areas.
Yeah, I'd go Mike.
Yeah, I could see a Mike.
Okay.
I could see
but I
Mike.
could see Mike also just like on a weekend in his flip flops just balling out at some bocce.
Also true.
So-
Also true.
So maybe like a Kyle. I think Kyle.
Yeah, maybe Kyle.
Kyle's on our admin team for those who don't
Yes.
know.
I could see Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Most likely to sprint across a field for one lost cone.
Yeah. Ooh. Probably Zach again. That guy loves to run.
I was
and
thinking
just,
Dylan
like, do
too.
anything. Oh,
Dylan's got
good
too much
too.
energy at some of these events. And Dylan's the type of guy who, if you're like, I need that cone right now,
He'll go.
he'll put down like a 4.2 40-yard dash. That guy's insane.
We're also all very competitive, so it might be like one person is gonna be like, I'll do it, and then somebody's like, well, I'll do it faster.
Yeah.
So you might get like a race, like a full 8-lane, like down a field.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're competitive here.
Yeah.
We are. Okay, you can't see this on my laptop, but I said most likely to yell, let's go, but in all caps and with lots of O's at the end at an inappropriate time.
That's Taryn.
Yeah.
Anything that
Yeah.
involves yelling or
Anything loud and at inappropriate times. I would just go ahead and put Taryn down for that.
mark it down.
Has to be
It
Taryn.
has to be Taryn.
Okay. Oh, I was excited about this one. Most likely to get a sunburn at summer games.
That's probably me.
Or me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was excited because I was
Yeah.
like, there's only 2 answers to this, and it's both of them. Like, literally.
I think at fall games last year, I got like sun poisoning, and like I had to get into the pool. Like I was in my normal full clothes. I had to get into the pool and like hold myself underwater to like regulate myself back to temperature. Me and the sun do not mix.
Yeah. That's on growing up in Washington.
Yes.
By the way. Most likely to remember everyone's birthday.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, Jacob is really good at birthdays. I can't remember birthdays to save my life.
You know, that's funny. I didn't get a happy birthday.
Well,
so.
you know, work on the high and vibes. I will say that today's Diane's birthday, so shout out Diane.
Shout out Diane.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Diane.
Diane.
Yeah.
And mind you, we're recording this on the 9th of September, and
Yes.
I'm not putting it out until like the 25th. So.
Happy birthday, Diane.
And Peyton's birthday was on Saturday the 6th.
It was.
At this point, very belated.
Very belated birthday.
Yes.
Yes.
And I will give Jacob a pass too, because there's like 8 people in the office with birthdays in July.
That's
and
true.
he's
it's
one
just
of
like
them.
the
I
1
am
week,
one,
too.
yeah.
It's like 1 week, there's like 8 people. It's
Yeah.
insane.
It's like literally everyone's birthday is the same week, and I am in that week as well.
You're right by Taryn, though, right?
Taryn and I are like 2 days
Yeah,
apart.
because hers is the 20th. So
Yes.
yours is the 20th. Back or forward?
It's the 23rd.
23rd,
Yes. Okay, most likely to remind you why you love working here.
Most likely. It's tough. I think just really any time we have competitions, for me, like our day of volunteers,
Mm-hmm.
those are the people that drive me the most, because they're taking time out of their day to like actively. Without them, we can't do what we do. So I think every time I go out and see them, it makes me want to like work harder, because they're doing it for free, and so like it's they're volunteering their time, which is arguably more valuable than us being here and making those competitions. We can't make them run without them. So
we had some like really awesome volunteers at summer games too, with like the food, and I remember like I was trying to help navigate the crowds with meals, and they were just like on top of it. Like I couldn't even get a word out. They were like, nope, you go here, and
Those
I was
guys are
like,
pros.
they're pros. Yeah, they're so good.
Shout out American Express.
American Express.
Express.
Taryn's mom.
Yes,
Taryn's
and
mom as
Taryn's
well?
mom.
Yeah. Well, she's with American Express.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That makes
I didn't
sense
know
though.
that either.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
she's awesome.
Yeah, shout
So
out
she
Jerry.
helps out at literally all of our events. So her, I guess.
I would also second that. Shout out our volunteers. I would say also probably Dylan. I think Dylan is one of the most positive people I've ever met in my life, and so I think he's the one who's like, you got this, man. Like this is why we're doing it. You know.
Yeah. Dylan he's good, and I like have stopped whenever I need to rant. I like can't rant to Dylan because he's so positive. Like he's like the one person I can't complain to. Most likely to high five every person at an event.
I think Ryan. I think Ryan's a big kind of high fiver fist bumper type of guy.
I can see it.
So he's always there with a fist bump when you need it most. I think.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'd say Bethany with the Phoenix Timberwolves. She's an athlete. She is a high fiver.
That's true.
Yeah.
High five, and I'm with it.
See, I was gonna say Zach. I think Zach is the only person that consistently comes up to me at events and is like,
Okay. Zach's taking the cake on a lot of these.
Zach is taking the cake on a lot of these. And we can tell who is the most outgoing person in the office.
Yeah, it's gonna be Zach, Dylan, Taryn.
Yeah.
Taryn, yes.
Take your pick, really.
Yeah.
Take your pick. And we want to hear from our listeners who you guys think fit some of these superlatives. You don't have to do all of them, but maybe drop one of them in the episode comments down below and tell us who you think would win.
Be nice, at least to us.
Yes. At least pick Jacob and Robert for
Yeah.
one so they feel included.
That's true. I would really appreciate that.
Yes. Okay, this was the thing I was second most excited for.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Today.
Oh.
Dude, wicked trivia?
Oh
No.
Oh no.
Okay,
I have
would lose
two
that.
clipboards with paper, and you have 2 pieces of paper. And I'm going to speed up this part of the episode because otherwise it's going to be boring. But
We'll have fun with it.
I wanted you guys to draw each other.
Oh.
Draw your teammate. Jacob's is funny because if you can read it,
I'll get in close for you guys.
get in
there we go.
close.
It's a lot of adjectives
describing.
describing Robert. And here, I'll
But it kind
try
of
to give
cracks
this one
me
a
up that took him
Yeah,
so
I
long.
did put some words on there, but my handwriting isn't great. So just to give you guys a quick rundown, just kind of while Jacob's showing it off here, of course I've got the beard, we've got the hair, we've got the glasses. I also made sure to give him big biceps and big pecs, which I labeled as very big.
Gotcha. So we also were a little abstract on this one. We took some creative liberties.
Absolutely lovely.
Want to read off a couple of those?
Okay. Oh wow, this is really artsy.
I know, that's what I was saying.
A beautiful person, very helpful, cool, smart. That's my eyebrows. Smiles is my mouth. Given. Four Peaks is my, what would that be, my right arm. Amazing is my left arm. Passionate and powerful is my torso. And special and confident are my legs. Look at that.
Look at that.
There you go.
That's so fun.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna skip ahead a little bit, do a couple closing questions. What's something exciting coming up with SOAZ that you think people should be paying attention to?
Gotcha. So I wrote down, tried to be as less selfish as possible in my area. So I wrote down fall games. It's going to be October 24th and 25th. So if you aren't signed up to be a volunteer for that, please go to soaz.org to do so. That's an amazing opportunity. That's bocce and swim. So
And it's the best time.
it's a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Our events are like really stellar.
Yeah.
And
you'll
really
get a
fun.
t-shirt. Everyone
Yes.
loves getting a t-shirt.
True.
And the volunteer t-shirts are actually like cool.
Yeah, they're good.
They're
looking
cooler
nice
than
green
our
this year.
staff shirts for sure.
Mhm.
So
And then All In Night.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
coming up. That's a good fundraiser for us. But it's at the Phoenix Suns Stadium, and it's free.
yes.
As long as you pre-register.
yes.
So any information about that also, if you go to soaz.org, that's a great one.
Or Instagram.
You'll see posts about it. It's a great time. There's a silent auction. There'll be a ton of athletes there. You'll get to learn more about our programming. There's different packages too if you did want to upgrade
Yes.
the not free thing. So
Yeah.
any questions about that too, feel free to send it over to SOAZ and
Yeah.
we'll help you.
And
get situated.
there's free tickets. You get food,
Mhm.
get a little soft drink.
Yep.
But like Jacob said, you can upgrade, and we have VIP packages and exclusive packages. So those are also awesome if you
Yeah.
want to pay more and get more benefits as a result.
So those are good ones coming up.
Yeah.
Those are good ones. I think Jacob took care of the selfless plugs, so I'm gonna be in charge of the selfish ones. You said this comes out on the 25th.
The 29th of
That's
September.
okay. So you just missed my bocce tournament. Dang it! Sorry about that one, guys. But the next one would be Palo Verde Bowling, I believe, which is sometime in October.
Oh.
Like most of the month.
6th through
It's
17th.
2 weeks, so you have plenty of opportunity to
Yes,
go to that
feel
one.
free to sign up as a volunteer. Spots are limited for that event, but you will get a free T-shirt. It's a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And then after that would be the regional golf tournament, which is going to be held at Canto Park on November 8th.
Yep, it's a
Which is gonna
Saturday.
it's a Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Just a lot of golfing. If you like golf, that's a good one to pull up to.
Weather should be pretty nice.
Weather should be. It's usually pretty nice on
Yeah.
that day. Spend the morning watching some college football. That's what I'll be doing on my phone most of that morning.
There you
So
go.
pull up, sit next to me and Jacob, watch some college football.
Watch our amazing athletes. of
Watch our
course.
amazing athletes as well. And that's as far out as I can think right now.
Softball's the week after that.
Softball is the week after that.
Lovely. Awesome. Okay. You already ruined my last question.
Yeah, sorry guys. Or maybe you're welcome. I don't
Or
know.
maybe you're
s-
welcome.
Really excited for it.
Last question. If SOAZ had a sitcom, what would your character be like? Or who would it be?
Did you have one in mind?
Yeah, so I think I didn't have like a specific, but I think I would be a good like comedic relief character. Like your Joey from Friends, or like your
Okay.
Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother, minus the misogyny. Barney Stinson if he was in a committed long-term relationship. I guess.
Okay.
But a good. I feel like I'm a good comic relief character.
Okay.
Always there with a quick quip or something.
Yeah, I could see that maybe.
Okay, I went a little more deep cut, so I don't know if a lot of our younger viewers will know, but I think I would be kind of like Sophia from Golden Girls.
Wow, you
That's
went
a deep
really
cut.
deep
That's
cut.
a deep cut.
Wow, go watch Golden Girls.
Go watch Golden Girls. On my personal laptop at home, I have a sticker of all the Golden Girls. Growing up with like my uncle and my grandma would watch Golden Girls all the time. Huge Golden Girls fan. But some of her qualities that I feel like I share with is she has a lot of like witty comments that she makes. But she's also very, I wrote them down here. She has a lot of humor, but she's also provides a lot of wisdom. She's like the oldest of the Golden Girls, was, and she knew how to kind of balance, helping her daughters, but also like bullying her daughters. And I feel like I'm a good middle ground in the office.
Yeah.
Where I can be pretty funny, but when needed, I can be there to support. So. Shout out the Golden Girls.
Yeah. I was trying to think about who mine would be, but I was thinking a little Parks and Rec. But then I can't remember her name.
Leslie Knope.
Not Leslie.
So like Aubrey Plaza's character.
Not Aubrey Plaza.
Maybe. That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe. No, I was gonna say Radisha Jones's character.
Okay, gotcha.
But that's pretty good too.
Yeah, I think both of those are good.
Oops.
I know. I felt like I went to like Leslie Knope right away, and like just to because a lot of what we do is recreation. And whatnot, and so I was like Parks and Rec feel like it would be perfect.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel as connected as I did with Sophia.
Yeah.
So.
See, and I was thinking like maybe The Office would be an obvious choice, but I don't really think I relate to any of the characters in The Office.
Yeah, that's what because like who would I say, like Jim?
Yes.
Or like so would everybody else.
So would everyone else. Yeah. See, and
That's
then
boring.
I was thinking more broadly, like I was like, oh, maybe Angela, but then I was like, I'm not that uptight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really not. So, comment down below.
Comment down below.
Who do you think Jaycob and Robert would be?
Who do you think you guys would be?
Oh.
Let us know.
Yes.
We'll read.
Who do you think anyone else in our office would be? Because maybe you have really strong feelings about Taryn or Ben or Ryan or literally pick your poison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone.
Yeah. Get this to 10,000 likes. I'll recite a scene from Golden Girls.
There you go. I want him to do it either way, actually. Okay, Jaycob, Robert, thank you so much for sharing your story and giving us the chance to get to know you a little better. And thank you for helping us make the world and SOAZ a more inclusive place. And if you enjoyed today's episode, share it, leave a review, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Spotify, and upcoming, and oh my gosh, keep an eye out on our social media for upcoming events, engagement opportunities, and podcast updates. Thanks. Until next time.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.